supporters and detractors make compelling points about the validity of the Bible code, code proponents believe that certain predictions in the Old Testament have come true. Some feel that the future is not known until it is the past. Others believe that if you know the correct questions to ask, the future can be foretold. If the Bible code can predict the future, what does the future hold for us, and is it written in stone? Supporters argue it has made some astonishing predictions in the very recent past.
The Gore-Bush election, I was coming home and I passed a coffee shop that was selling newspapers, and they had the Israeli newspaper. And there in the headlines, I saw how the Hebrew is spelled for Gore and for Bush. And there was the date of the election in the Hebrew month system. And I just took those three words, I put it into my own programs, and comes out a very, 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 very tight matrix. I think it was like 4 rows by 5 columns, with these 3 words, the day of the month and the month as one keyword, Gore as one keyword, and Bush as the other. And it was so compact that the probability of finding that in a monkey text population, monkey text means a population in which you have text of no codes at all, was something like 1 out of a few 100,000.
But it would be the events of September 11th that would make researchers go back to the Bible to see if it had been foretold. What they say they found was startling.
You do, in fact, discover unusually compact arrangements of these 3 words, plus many others that have to do with 9/11, including 9/11 itself, including the names of the hijackers, including many other descriptors. The building's falling, the building's melting, it's being destroyed, it's before everybody's eyes, and so on. And all of these occur within a very small area.
I did a matrix on the World Trade Center attack, and it has 30 terms that are complete sentences. The statistical odds of this matrix occurring are 1 chance in 10 to the 340th power.
The airplane knocked down the Twin Towers twice. Now, twice is just a word in the plain text.
This next example shows bin Laden with the words kills thousands of people and the word terror incident, as well as Twin Towers. What makes this chart extraordinary is the clustering involved. And you almost have to be in the research for a while before you can appreciate how close these words are. This is the only word for terror incident that's a skip of 2. It's the smallest skip in the Torah. This is one of the best of 3 meetings between Twin and Towers. Why should they come together in the same chart? And the answer we see over and over again is because there's an intention here.
Supporters say one of the latest revelations of the code concerns the event that took place on February 1st, 2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster.
I'll start with a find from Professor Rips about Space Shuttle Columbia. Columbia, they will mourn, a devouring fire. Professor Rips did not see this red ELS. He showed it to a friend who immediately said, this looks like a space shuttle. What if there was something interesting on this other wing? And it's facing down, so this must be the left wing. And sure enough, it says, consumed by fire.
Even America's most recent war, proponents say, was predicted by the code. But can the code predict the future? Some code researchers have claimed that the Bible code makes the ultimate prediction, that the end of days might have begun, that the world will soon come to an end. The code predicted the devastating earthquake in Los Angeles in 1994. In that same code sequence, another great earthquake is predicted to hit Los Angeles in 2010. The code predicts the devastation of Earth by a comet in the year 2012. The code suggests that the recent rise in global terrorism could be a precursor to the coming of the end of days. Are these supposed predictions the result of mere coincidence? Or if they exist, are they locked in stone? Some researchers say nothing is unchangeable.
As we see in this example, we have Al Gore in blue, and we have President in yellow. This was found by Professor Ribbs a year before the election. So he assumed that Al Gore was going to be president, or he thought perhaps he would be. And in fact, a few weeks into the Florida legal battles, Professor Ribbs found some additional words he thinks maybe in red. So, in fact, there's really no rule book to tell us what word to read first and what word to read second, and whether we're missing some words. Maybe we should be highlighting a word over here and over there. So we have no real way of knowing what we're looking at.
It's very difficult to do an accurate matrix on the future.
Predicting the future with the codes is a serious misuse of the whole topic, in my opinion, and it can't be done anyway.
You cannot use the Torah code to be looking for what stocks you should buy today so you can make money tomorrow, because it does not follow that everything that's in compact arrangement corresponds to something that's logically, historically related.
Doing matrices on the future should be no problem at all, except we know nothing to look for and we have to guess at everything. And when you do that, that opens the door to making mistakes. And so doing a matrix on the future, I think, is 100% possible, theoretically, but practically it's very difficult to do. So logically, if you can develop a matrix on a past event, then a future event is just a past event that hasn't occurred yet, because we don't know what to look for in the future matrix. So that's the limitation.
And we may be seeing only the tip of the iceberg, and that we have not yet been able to find in a systematic way all the different aspects of how it's encoded. That is the full description of the code. We're only seeing a piece of it here or a piece of it there.
If you believe the Bible and the Bible prophecies, it talks about a period of time called the end times, the latter days, the last days, where it's an ever-increasing battle between good and evil in the world. Terrorism, the SARS virus and other viruses and epidemics, those are all indicative of bad things happening. And the Bible predicts that these bad or evil things are going to happen. And the Bible code corroborates that message.